It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Saturday, the 16th of August. I'm Michael Groff. After a few active days across the state, conditions beginning to quiet down today with drier air filtering in. And we'll continue to see that drying trend tomorrow and Monday. Now, for today, showers and thunderstorms will be confined to mainly northern and eastern Arizona, although we could see some isolated storms here in the lower deserts this afternoon. Looks like storm activity will take a break tomorrow and Monday, but it does look like high pressure will begin to build back across the southwest and bring a return to our monsoon flow. Unfortunately, with the ridge getting closer to us once again, temperatures are going to be heating up. How hot will it get? How long will it last? What about rain chances? When do they come back? Where, when, how much rain? All of that. We'll talk about that, plus the tropics and so much more as we dive on in. Hey everyone, it's Michael Groff here to talk to you about your roof. With all the extreme weather we have in Arizona, you need a name you can trust, and that's why you should call Blackstone Roofing Group for all of your roofing needs. Call for your free inspection today. Big or small, they do it all. Tile, shingle, or flat roofing, they can help. Offering free inspections and more. Roofing made easy. Call 602-536-9363 or visit blackstoneroofing.com to schedule your free inspection today. And if you tell them Michael Groff sent you, they'll take $500 off the price of your roof replacement. Again, that's 602-536-9363 or blackstoneroofing.com. All right, let's get into it. The almanac from yesterday, 104 degrees the afternoon high after a morning low of 76. Thanks to that rain-cooled air, 105 and 84 the averages for this time of year. Speaking of rain-cooled air, that's about all it was. It wasn't really much rain to be had at Sky Harbor anyway. A trace of rain officially in the bucket. So despite the couple of days with rain across the valley, where they officially take the rain at Sky Harbor, just a trace. And cue all of the comments about why do they take the rain and the temperatures and all the official measurements at Sky Harbor Airport, Mike. They need to move that to my house because I got a deluge. I know. I get it. We've been hearing those comments for 30 years. Maybe one day. All right. Looking outside right now, just after 6 o'clock, we've got some clouds around this morning. We're sitting at 84 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point 63, so it's still muggy out there. Humidity 49%, the winds are light, the barometer is rising. Temperatures across the area right now, 82 in Scottsdale, 83 in Arcadia. I see a couple of upper 70s on the board, but generally speaking, these are about where temperatures should be to begin the day here in mid-August. And it is muggy out. This afternoon, we'll see these readings jump into the upper 90s to about 103. Satellite picture out here across the southwest. And you can clearly see the drier air is beginning to work its way into the region. That flow aloft is switching out of the south-southwest. It'll be more of a deep southwesterly flow with time. And that's thanks in part to this broad upper trough that's sitting off to the north and west of us. We have had these little short waves rotate around it and serve as a means to enhance some storms. But with drier air coming in, especially here over southwest and south central Arizona, thunderstorm activity will be fairly limited today. Our monsoon ridge, that subtropical ridge that brings that monsoon flow when it's set up across the four corners or north of us, well, right now it's sitting across the central plain states, and that's where you'll find all of the heat. Look at those heat advisories and extreme heat warnings. Really, they extend from central Florida all the way up toward Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's just going to be another toasty day across a good portion of the nation's heartland and the Gulf Coast today. Now, out here in the west, we've got flood watches actually over parts of Oregon and Idaho. And of course, we've got those red flag warnings. The wildfires continue to be a pretty problematic situation out here for much of the west, including here in Arizona. Convective outlook for today. Got that standard slight risk of severe storms, and that's partially because we have that severe thunderstorm watch that's over parts of South Dakota and into Minnesota. But the broader marginal risk from the Dakotas all the way east into the central Great Lakes. In Arizona, parts of the state are in the green. A good portion of the state is really. And so thunderstorms will be possible. I'd say for us, though, in south central Arizona, again, the thunder threat it's there, but it's pretty marginal at best. Maybe only about a 10 to 20% chance we'll see any storms around today, at least in our part of the state. The tropics and the Atlantic Basin, and we've got that little feature, that X on the board that's off the Carolinas. We're not going to worry about that. What we're really concerned about is Hurricane Aaron. And Aaron has rapidly intensified overnight. Now a Category 3 hurricane, and this may very well ramp up to Category 4. Now, the good news is the official track from the National Hurricane Center keeps this away from Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Bermuda, and most importantly to us here in the U.S., the United States East Coast. And I know there's a lot of talk on social media. We've been talking about this for a while, but no, right now there is no threat to the East Coast of the United States from Aaron directly. With that said, we will see enhanced swells and the dangers of rip currents, so you have to be aware of that. But just to further this point, let's show you the tropical model set here. This is the ATCF set on Aaron, and all of these models turn this system east of the United States East Coast. Now, again, a few do threaten Bermuda, so you have to keep that in mind. The European ensemble, the mean is the black line there, the black squares, and you can see that's east of the East Coast. I know there's a couple of members that try to bring this closer on the GFS ensemble, same deal. You got maybe one member there that's an outlier that brings us pretty close to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, but for the most part, this is going to stay far east of the U.S., and that is good news. Still, this should be a major hurricane. Well, it already is a major hurricane and will get stronger over the next 24 to 36 hours. Closer to home, the precipitation outlook. This is valid through next Saturday morning, courtesy of the WPC. Rain amounts in Phoenix, probably nothing. Statewide, if you want to find precipitation, you have to go up north, over into the White Mountains, the southeastern part of the state, where rain amounts could be anywhere from 1/10 all the way up to maybe 3/4 of an inch. As always, when we show you this graphic, your amount will vary. Any one storm can produce a lot more than what's shown here. This just represents an average of what you'll see across the area. So let's get into the details of this weather forecast right now. What might the future hold for us? We start by exploring those models. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 06Z run. This is valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. Way over on the right-hand side of your screen, you see Aaron out there. Elsewhere, we've got our ridge that has shifted across the plain states, a trough to the west. A much broader upper low is sitting over the northeast Pacific. And so with the flow aloft switching out of the southwest, what it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, mostly sunny this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon. Now, the flow aloft is south-southwesterly, and so if we want to see storms in the valley, they're going to have to develop to our south and southwest. Not really a favorable spot, but we could see at least some widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms here. Better chances of storms, northern Arizona, Flagstaff, Sedona, Winslow, Show Low, Window Rock, all the way down to Douglas, Bisbee, Sierra Vista, Tucson. And just southeast of the valley, we could see some storms today. But again, isolated storms possible for us. High temperatures, upper 90s to about 103 degrees. All right, for tonight, an isolated evening storm. Otherwise, we become mostly clear with lows in the 70s to low, maybe mid-80s right at the airport and right downtown in that urban core. And then looking at the HRRR, just to kind of reassess this situation from the high-resolution model perspective, our CAMs. Yeah, the simulated radar product, this is this afternoon at 5 o'clock. And again, a few little pop-up storms around today, but really the bulk of the action will be north and east of us. And even at that, again, you can see this is not going to be a major widespread outbreak of storms, although I actually do expect we'll see more storms than what's shown here. All right, let's go to tomorrow. And again, we'll be drier. That southwesterly flow is deeper. The dew points are going to be coming down. The moisture in the atmosphere coming down. So we'll be sunny. And high temperatures, again, upper 90s to about 103 degrees. With the presence of the trough to the north and west of us and that ridge, more than 1,000 miles centered east of us, we're not going to worry about significant heat around here. Temperatures may actually be a couple of degrees below average tomorrow. That'll be nice, especially with that drier air. Showers and storms confined to mainly the eastern third of the state over the higher terrain. As we keep going, this is Monday. That ridge to the east is going to start to shift back to the west as our trough to the north and west of us begins to lift out. And so, as a result, temperatures will warm up a few degrees, highs 103 to 107. We'll tack on a degree or so on Tuesday. Mostly sunny in the morning, partly cloudy in the afternoon, but already with the ridge starting to build back toward Colorado, I expect the flow aloft will be switching back to the south and east. And that monsoon moisture, it gets pushed out, but it won't be far away, so it'll start to stream back in pretty quickly. So we'll even introduce a small chance of a late day storm, maybe an evening storm here on Tuesday in the valley, but the better chances will still be over the higher terrain of eastern Arizona and the eastern rim country. And let's keep going. This is Wednesday. Highs are going to get closer to 110 degrees or so. I'd say anywhere from about 108 to 112. And again, widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms here with more scattered storms over the higher terrain. Now, the caveat to this forecast is going to be that ridge. It looks like it's going to get pretty intense by the middle part of the week. This is Thursday. Upper heights anywhere from about 594 to 597 decameters in the center of that ridge. And it's north of us, which is a good position for it to be in to advect monsoon moisture. The flow aloft will be easterly, and that should bring storms off the higher terrain into the lower deserts. But unfortunately, with the ridge being as intense as it is, we're going to have to contend with an unfavorable thermal profile to get the storms in the lower deserts. Now, that doesn't mean we won't see any. It just means that we're going to have a harder time getting widespread storms in here. So that's why we're keeping the rain chances in about that 20% bracket for Thursday, and really the same story on Friday. The ridge might weaken just a little bit in response to a trough well off to the north and west and kind of weakening the upper heights, bringing them down a little bit more toward 594 decameters. That should slightly cooler, bring in slightly cooler air aloft. And so again, showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon, kind of a standard monsoon forecast. But at least we'll take that given we haven't had a standard monsoon forecast all summer. So at least this is something. It's not the most optimal setup, but at least we could see a few storms. Let's keep going a week from today. This is Saturday, the 23rd. And again, high pressure is located broadly north or northwest of us. The flow aloft east, possibly northeasterly. The upper heights about 594 decameters. Some of our guidance actually weakens this ridge just slightly more so. And that would result in maybe some better coverage of storms around here. Synoptically speaking, yeah, it sure looks like more scattered shower and thunderstorm activity for the lower deserts with numerous showers and storms from the midday through afternoon and evening hours over the higher terrain. And that's a good setup to be in. But what has happened most of the summer with the exception of the last couple of days? The models present us with this fool's gold. So, this is out at a week from now, and I'm sure this is going to change between now and then, but this is just how things look at present. This is Sunday, the 24th. Again, high pressure sitting here broadly over the southwest. But now the GFS tries to bring an inverted trough in from northern Mexico, and that could also serve to enhance shower and storm activity. Looking at the end of the forecast period, Monday the 25th, and once again, there's a broad inverted trough that sort of rests between a high center that's to the east and one that's well off to the west of us, well off the west coast of the United States. And in this kind of a setup, if you have that setup in place, again, this is 10 days out, and I guarantee you this is going to change multiple times between now and then, but just taking this at face value, that would create a broad deformation zone across the area for scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, and temperatures would be trending down because the 594 ridge is way off to the north and west of us. Another high center is way off to the east of us. So we wouldn't be directly under these oppressive upper heights that are up at 597 plus decameters. So upper heights would be closer to 590 maybe here. So that sets the stage for a much better setup for showers and storms. But again, this is 10 days out. All right, looking at rainfall for Phoenix. This goes out through the 30th of August, all the way toward the end of the month. This is off the GFS ensemble. The mean, it's up there about half an inch. Maybe even just a shade above a half an inch. The control member is up there over 3/4 of an inch, and every single member indicates precipitation. But the GFS has had very questionable accuracy this summer. But the European AI ensemble isn't that far off. The ensemble means a little lower, but still between a third and a half inch. And most of the members here indicate precipitation, although they hold it off till a week to 10 days out for the most part. There are some, a scattering, that show rain today and tonight, but many of them hold off for quite some time. And there are signs that things do turn more active right there in the last week of August, and we sure hope so. This has just been a dreadful monsoon. Looking at temperatures off the national blend of models, the trend, unfortunately, is up. We're going to get pretty toasty this week. Highs could get up to anywhere from 110 to 114 or so for the middle and especially latter part of this upcoming week. But then look what happens as we get out there beyond next weekend. When you start getting out there toward the 25th and 26th, highs maybe below average by a degree or three. That would be nice. And that would also imply that we would see more monsoonal moisture and chances of storms, too. So we'll take that. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you're really enjoying what we do here, you want to support the channel, all of the ways to do that are linked up down below, and that includes, well, of course, clicking the thanks icon here on YouTube. You could do that. Our PayPal address, groffshow@gmail.com. That's GROFF show@gmail.com for PayPal. And our Venmo is down there below as well. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of SweetChildAZ.com.org and the Facebook page with that same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Blogs, videos, everything Michelle related and almost certainly Adriana related. It's all linked up down below. So check it out. Our streaming station, it's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a lot of music and have a lot of fun with that. So give that a look. Also want to thank Dan over there at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. Check him out. A wealth of content there. The Courtroom Files on YouTube or courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. And he's always got programming going on. Like, for example, not only does he have all of his regular content, his live shows Monday through Friday, you can catch me along with a panel of others on a show called Sidebar Tuesday and Thursday nights, 8 p.m. East, 5 Pacific. But tonight, he's playing games over there, too. It's a game night over on the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. I don't know, man. The guy is just, the guy is a workhorse. I don't know how he does it. By the time I'm done doing these videos, it takes 3, 4, 5 hours for me to do these. I'm exhausted. So I don't know. He's, the man is a machine. All right. Also, want to thank all of you who have donated to us. I don't want to leave anybody out. We want to thank Ashley very much for another generous contribution to this channel. So thank you for that. And let's see. I believe we had a donation from Gary on PayPal. Want to make sure I reference that. We've got all of you that help support us each and every day. And of course, all of your comments and your kind words. And all of your rain reports, too. I read every single one of those, too. So I appreciate that, too. All of you guys who chime in with everything. Every comment is read. So I appreciate each and every one of you so much. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support. It's amazing. It's so greatly appreciated. Please, please be safe. And even though temperatures are down a bit, still stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and have yourselves a delightful rest of your Saturday.